Magic Treehouse Fact Tracker. Penguins Antarctica by Mary Pope Osborne and Natalie Pope Boyce. Chapter 1 Penguins Antarctica. Antarctica got a name from the ancient Greek god the night. The Greeks studied the stars. They watched a group of stars called the Great Bear rose high in the northern sky. The Greek named the most northern parts of our world Arctos, which is a Greek word for bear. This later became our world Arctic. They thought since there was a North Pole, there must be a South Pole too. Balance it. They named the southern tip of the earth Arctos, which means opposite of bear. Arctica being the Antarctica. But it was not until the thousands of years later that anyone set foot on Antarctica. The first visitor found the incredible frozen world more amazing than anyone could ever believe. The land of ice. Antarctica is about 1.5 times bigger in the United States. The South Pole lies almost in it at its center. Ice covered Antarctica mountains and villages. Ice covered almost in the ground. In some places, it is over 3 miles deep. Antarctica is surrounded by a South Ocean. During the winter, when the seas around the Arctica freeze off, extra ice makes an continent look twice in size. 70% of the world fresh water and some from of ice that lies in and around the Arctica. Cloudiest, windiest, driest. If you like cold weather, Antarctica is a place for you. It is the coldest place in Earth. The temperature is usually 16 degrees or more below zero. Is coldest temperature ever recorded was in Antarctica, almost 100 103 degrees below zero. Oh, I think that is very cold. Antarctica is also the windiest place on Earth. Howling winds sweep down and center and sometimes stay below in 200 miles an hour. That's hurricane force. The wind dry out the air so much that they turn Antarctica in an ice desert. It is even drier in Sahara desert. In fact, Antarctica is the driest place in the world. Even that only the 2 inches of snow fall each year. Antarctica has lots of blizzard. Blizzard are storm. Think of strong winds and blowing snow. Antarctica winds blowing snow and is already on the ground. This can make it hard to see or even to stand up. During the winter, Antarctica is always dark. In the summer, the sun never sets at all. The only creature they can alive in the harsh place all year in tiny insect called wingless midge. With researcher who work there, like live in warm building that protect them from the weather. History of the Antarctica. Million of years ago, Antarctica was very different. It was not secret conscient. It was a part of giant the scientists called the Gondwana. Gondwana included parts of all North Africa, Antarctica, Australia, New Zealand, South America, and India. This landmass cover an area stretching from the equator almost down to a South Pole. Gondwana was reached to plant of animal dinosaur and the animals and feed on each other's and own the many plants growing there. About 200 million years ago, Gondwana began to split off into different continents of island. Over a million of years, Antarctica slowly drifted farther south until it covered the South Pole. All of the animals that live on Gondwana eventually disappeared from Antarctica by 13 million years ago. It was frozen into a vast sheet of ice. Iceberg. Sometimes the dunes of the ice break off the high cliffs and edge of sea in Antarctica. This is called the Carlin. It's amazing sight. And an ice of water, ice crystals shoot into air. There are like tools of white powder and huge chunk of sand. With the sea, it looks like a float of a mountain of ice. This huge mass was called icebergs. One biggest ice today is over 183 million long and 23 million miles wide. That's the size of states of New Jersey, and even bigger in underwater. Antarctica broke from Gondwana once the dinosaur and coldest, windiest, driest ice everywhere. Covers South Pole, the BC seas. Whales, seals, penguins, or birds live on seas and skies around Antarctica. In the summer, millions of penguins raise their chicks. The winter, they headed back to the pack of ice and opened the sea. And content of Antarctica is lonely. Place unique Arctic. Human beings have never lived there. The nearest land mass is over in 600 600 miles away in South America. The giant continent lies frozen and silent at the end of the world. Earth. Fossils in Antarctica. Fossils are remains of animals and plants that lived very long ago. There are many animals fossils lying under the ice in Antarctica. They come from a time when the dinosaurs remained in Gondwana. There are also fossils of ferns of other plants. Scientists make a new fossils discoveries in Antarctica. They all the time. Recently, they were surprised to find the duck-bill dinosaur veggie island of a coast of Antarctica. They never seen fossils like this Antarctica before. Another discovered South Pole was a dinosaur and lived in 190 million years ago. This huge animal was over 25 feet long. Scientists think it's the largest lift of land. Can you believe are also police or penguins that stood almost 6 feet tall? They lived over 6 million years ago.